Right now at 6, Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance back in Eau Claire.
And a person sustains life-threatening injuries after being hit by a semi-truck in La Crosse.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance is making another stop in Eau Claire.
That's right. It's his second campaign stop to the area in as many months. News 8 Now's Allison Fergott was in attendance, and she joins us live. She's got more on the Ohio Senator's message to Wisconsin voters. Allison.
Ken and Emily, Vance's speech wrapped up about 30 minutes ago, and he focused on the message, "Make America Safe Again." He started off his speech by saying Harris's policies as vice president have hurt Americans and that this election is about preserving the American dream. He brought up a recent incident in Prairie du Chien when an undocumented Venezuelan immigrant attacked a woman and child. He accuses Harris of taking away children's rights to public safety. He insisted he and Trump would carry out mass deportations if elected and secure the border. Once he was done speaking, he took questions from reporters, including local stations. Now, I asked him about what policies he supports to make childcare more accessible. He says it's important to give families different choices so they can choose what's best for them. Reporting in Eau Claire, Allison Fergott, Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right, Allison, thanks very much.
Our warm stretch of weather continues as we enter the final week here of fall, and that will continue, but we will see some cool down and some precipitation. But for tonight, you definitely got the partial lunar eclipse this evening. It's going to come up about 7:30 to 10. It's only about 8.7% coverage, so it won't last long and it'll be barely visible, but still something to keep in mind of this evening. We should have pretty good sky conditions. Overall, we're about 15 to 20 degrees once again above average. The only really saving thing that's going in our direction is dew points and moisture, so it wasn't as humid. We saw more humidity this weekend. But overall, these are very comfortable dew points, even the 40s too. So kind of a dry heat, if you can call it that. Otherwise, look to the west. That's the activity that we're going to be tracking a little bit later, but we still got at least another 24 hours before we get any type of precipitation that's well out to the Intermountain West. There's your temperatures right now, low to mid 80s, even a few upper 80s out there too, with a little bit of cloud cover, but all in all, pretty quiet conditions. And that'll be really the story as we go through this evening, dropping back down into the upper 60s with a southeast wind in La Crosse. Same story as we go towards Eau Claire too, dropping back down with quiet conditions, clearing skies, getting back down to southeast about 8 miles per hour as we go out. So overnight lows, we're going to drop a little bit cooler just because those dew points are a little bit lower, so probably more 40s and 50s out there than 60s. Later on, we're going to track down when we see some precipitation coming and when the 70s will come back here a bit later in the broadcast.
All right. Thank you, Greg. A person is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a semi-truck on La Crosse's north side. According to a city release, just before noon, an 18-wheeler hit the victim near the 1900 block of Rose Street. The driver of the truck is unharmed. This incident remains under investigation.
One person is dead and another injured following a crash last night. According to the Wisconsin DOT, the crash happened just after 10 p.m. on I-90 near Tomah. Both drivers were trapped in their vehicles involving a GMC van and a Chevy truck. The 32-year-old man driving the van was pronounced dead on scene, while the 47-year-old man driving the truck was airlifted to La Crosse with non-life-threatening injuries. The drivers' names have not yet been released.
The Eau Claire man accused of a 2016 murder is competent to stand trial. That's the ruling today in Eau Claire County Court. 44-year-old Shane Helmbrecht is accused of killing his neighbor 8 years ago. He was previously found incompetent and ordered to live in a mental health facility. He left that facility last year, and authorities found and arrested him in Mexico.
A Cashton man accused of child sex crimes is pleading not guilty. 21-year-old Aiden Harris faces 22 counts, including repeated child sexual assault, enticement, and possession of child porn. According to the criminal complaint, Harris kissed and groped a 14-year-old girl when he was 19 and coerced a 15-year-old into sexual contact. He's also accused of sending or requesting explicit photos on social media apps. Harris is held on a $50,000 cash bond. He has a plea hearing next month.
A Chippewa County man accused of selling drugs leading to an overdose death pleads not guilty. 43-year-old Casey Schuneman faces several charges, including first-degree reckless homicide as a party to a crime. According to the criminal complaint, deputies found a victim unresponsive in a ditch 30 minutes after she allegedly bought methamphetamine from Schuneman. His next court appearance is October 28th.
Winona State University is experiencing some growing pains. With enrollment at its highest in more than a decade, the university's president says it may be time to build new dorms. News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall explains what's causing the influx. Jeremy.
Well, Emily, WSU President Kenneth Jan says enrollment at the university is the highest it's been in 11 years, mostly because of North Star Promise, a Minnesota program offering free tuition to families with a household income of less than $80,000. The university planned to build new dorms before the COVID-19 pandemic, but paused the effort when classes moved online. Now the plan is back in action. The new residence hall will be right there. You see it on the screen at the corner of Mark and Main Streets and will be called Mark and Main Residence Hall. President Jan says the 340 rooms will give them the space they need, not only to house new students, but to make repairs on the existing dorms.
The plan is we'd build the new residence hall, and it would give us some breathing room to then take each year thereafter a residence hall offline to actually then, do some work on them, add air conditioning, and get it ready for students to come back and reoccupy.
Residence Life Director Sarah Olcott says several dorms on campus don't have air conditioning. Taking them offline for a while will give the university the chance to make those changes. Now, funding for the new dorms will come from loans that would be paid by room and board fees. No word yet on when construction could begin. Ken and Emily.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy.
Ashley Furniture founder Ron Wanek is donating over $6 million for a new manufacturing center at Western Technical College. The Wanek Center of Innovation will replace the current business education building and provide advanced manufacturing equipment for students to build skills with automation. Wanek's donation covers most of the roughly $10.5 million project. This is the largest gift the college has received. According to a release, the new space will serve over 1,000 students a year through college programs and K-12 partnerships. Wanek says this project will help both Wisconsin students and manufacturers.
This is going to be a state-of-the-art facility. There will be very few of them in Wisconsin and very few of them in the nation. So the area will be unique. And obviously we have a lot of great manufacturers in this area, and this will help them remain competitive in a global environment.
The center is expected to open next fall.
Serious questions are being asked about the assassination attempt against Trump.
What the FBI is saying about the latest attempt.
I don't need much, just the chance to work hard and take care of my family. But Biden, Harris, and the Washington Democrats have made that tough. Inflation is crushing us. Go to the parts store, the grocery store, the gas station. You feel it everywhere. And what has Tammy Baldwin done? Not a damn thing. She's been right there with them, raising taxes, spending more, backing Biden, Harris, hurting Wisconsin.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
When you want to make your home a warmer, more welcoming place, it's hard to beat the feel of a fire. Transform your home with a Heat and Glow gas insert from La Crosse Fireplace Company. Enjoy all the coziness with none of the hassle. No cleanup, no drafts, and low maintenance. Just efficient and reliable warmth made easy. Your new Heat and Glow fireplace can be installed in just a day, right inside your outdated wood fireplace. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is by the fire.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
As your local Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we wear many hats. We take pride in serving our members and our community by going the extra mile in everything we do. Because we not only work here, we live here. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
We found out our baby had severe fetal abnormalities and that my life was at risk. But Wisconsin Republicans' extreme abortion ban forced us to leave the state to get the care that I needed. It was a nightmare. Eric Hovde pushed to end Roe v. Wade. And in the Senate, Hovde would give Mitch McConnell the majority to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape, incest, or the health of women like me. What is wrong with these guys?
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has given his first public comments on the apparent assassination attempt against him Sunday.
CBS's Christian Benavidez reports serious questions remain about Trump's safety in this volatile political moment.
That's good-looking human beings, huh?
This video from the Trump campaign shows the former president thanking Florida deputies who stopped and arrested the man suspected in an apparent assassination attempt.
I'm still here.
The Republican nominee is now publicly recounting how Sunday's golf game came to an abrupt end.
All of a sudden, we heard shots being fired in the air, and I guess probably 4 or 5.
Trump's golf partner, Steve Witkoff, tells CBS News he was just 10 yards away from the former president when he saw the Secret Service jump into action.
They were putting themselves noticeably between him and where the sniper, the assassin, had been identified as being.
Monday, the acting head of the Secret Service visited the golf course and briefed Trump and the public.
The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agent.
The Secret Service says former President Trump now has the highest level of protection and has had that since July. President Biden ordered stepped-up protection of the former president following his first assassination attempt.
The FBI is leading the investigation into Ryan Wesley Routh, including his social media posts and online searches. Last year, the man with the lengthy criminal record self-published a book about the Ukraine war and urged Iran to assassinate Trump. Routh appeared in court Monday on 2 federal gun charges.
We will spare no resource in this investigation.
Additional charges are possible. Christian Benavidez, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis wants his state to take the lead in the investigation.
He questions whether the U.S. Justice Department can be fair since they are prosecuting Trump on election interference and the mishandling of classified documents.
Well, Senate Republicans have blocked a bill guaranteeing Americans access to in vitro fertilization.
Senators voted 51-44 in favor of the bill, with 2 female Republicans joining Democrats. But the bill needed 60 votes to advance. The Right to IVF Act is the same measure Republicans voted down back in June.
Democrats are bringing it up again because Trump last month said if he's elected, he'll have the government or force insurance companies to pay for IVF nationwide. The GOP has also offered their own IVF bill, but Democrats blocked that one because they argued it left open too many doors to restrict IVF at the state level. Well, we've got more news ahead.
But first,
warm conditions continue, but we do have some rain, which we do need in the forecast for your Thursday. We'll time out when to expect it and if we'll see any severe thunderstorms with it. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
The liberal elite in Washington are running one of their own here in Wisconsin. A political insider who worked to elect liberals in California even supported a dark money group focused on defunding the police. Her name, Rebecca Cook, political operative bankrolled by the liberal elite. They handpicked her to help win back the House, trusted to elect liberal heroes like Mandela Barnes. They trust her because Rebecca Cook is one of them.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
Asher Laston Exteriors is committed to craftsmanship, innovation, and outstanding customer service as Western Wisconsin's window and door replacement experts. Our superior quality, energy-saving windows and doors from the trusted brand of Renewal by Andersen are skillfully installed by certified technicians and backed by some of the strongest transferable warranties available. Save up to 22% with 0 down and no interest or payments for up to 18 months with Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors. Brought to you you by Asher Lasting Exteriors.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped.
So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away.
Even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
When you vote, please think about me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra, available with the connected driving experience and the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Get 0% APR on 2024 Sierra 1500 Denali models. That's over $6,400 in average finance savings.
Visit your best choice GMC dealer today.
I don't trust Derek Van Orden to make decisions around my medical care. Everything was normal up until my ultrasound. I learned my baby would not survive. I did not have the choice to do what was right for me and my family in my home state, and that felt very deeply wrong to me. I am a conservative. I am scared for extremists like Derek Van Orden to be in office.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Well, if you want the fall-like conditions, well, out west they're definitely getting with this large circulation low out there. Precipitation, snow in the mountains, and definitely temperatures back in the 50s and 60s. So that's a system eventually we're going to keep an eye on. It's kind of circulating out there, but it's sending these weak waves further downstream towards our area. And so far they've kind of fallen apart and given us some cloud cover like this one here, just to the west here. But eventually, as that low does get closer to the plains, we are going to see some of these showers of thunderstorms, line of them, begin to actually get to the area. And that's what we're going to see for going into Thursday. But for tomorrow, no issues. Continue dry and warm, just maybe a little bit more cloud cover, so maybe not quite as warm. Showers come Thursday morning. That's one opportunity for it. And then there's a better opportunity late Thursday evening. Right now, it kind of looks like after the Thursday evening commute, but we'll keep an eye on it. These could be strong. Better shot is probably further west, and I'll kind of show that too. But overnight, it's going to be a little bit cooler with a little bit lower dew points. We should be more 40s and 50s than actual 60s, so getting close to where we should be, but still very quiet and pleasant conditions. And then tomorrow, still quiet, mid-80s. Potentially, we have a little bit more cloud cover coming in there, but we're talking high clouds, so still quite warm, 10 degrees above average at least. With that south wind continuing. Now, here's a big system. Eventually, that low will get up to the Montana area, western Dakota areas. This is one line to develop tomorrow. Now, that will weaken, provide us some cloud cover going into Wednesday evening. Then Wednesday night, there's going to be another line developing that's probably eastern South Dakota, those areas, and that line eventually will try to make its way into Thursday morning. Now, there's a little bit issue of whether timing of it gets through here. Right now I think it's a little bit later than the morning commute, but that could change, and if it holds together. So probably sometime late morning to maybe noon we might see a line of showers, potentially a thunderstorm before it weakens and falls apart. Break Thursday afternoon, and then as the front gets closer, you're going to watch the Twin Cities area just down there is where we might see another line, and this one could be strong to potentially severe coming in later Thursday. We're talking right now at least 7 to 8 after that time frame. That could be coming a little earlier, but that line will dive through the area, and that does have the potential to be strong, maybe severe, depending if it can hold together coming through. So we got two opportunities. This will come through probably after midnight. A lot of the activity will basically scoot to the east, and then going into Friday, it looks at least quiet right now. So there's two opportunities for some rainfall. Not going to be widespread rainfall, but we do have the potential there going into Friday. Overall, it looks quiet, but we have more rain for the weekend. There's your severe threat. The western area does clip it. We're in a category 2, and we're looking mainly at a hail and high wind threat with this. Everything else pretty looks low right now. So we'll keep an eye on that, time that out a little better as we get closer to the event. Otherwise, the weekend, the rain chances are there, but nothing looks like a complete washout on either day right now. But we do notice the trend in the temperatures. Now, they are going down to the low 70s, but by that time we get to next week, that is kind of where we should be after the first day of fall. So that's the good news. Now, I know the Apple Festival this coming weekend, we have the rain chance. Right now, it's iffy. I don't think it's all-day rain. The good news if you are looking forward to Oktoberfest the following week.
Of course.
That looks actually dry so far, and seasonal, which is the low 70s.
Nice.
Right now, that looks good.
Yes.
That could
All
change.
subject to change.
That
exactly.
could change.
All right. Thank you, Craig. Well, coming up next in sports, a quarterback battle like no other. The UWL Eagles once again using 2 quarterbacks to help them win games. We'll hear from Coach Janis on what makes it work. Cade is next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
The greatest meal deal for your buck? Hardee's Original Bag. Just $5.99. Loaded with your choice of 2 full-size favorites, plus fries and a drink. All for just $5.99. Hardee's. Goodness in the making.
Gas, groceries, school supplies. Everything costs more. Eggs are almost twice as much as they were 4 years ago. Biden, Harris, and the Democrats keep telling us things are better. They aren't better. And Tammy Baldwin is making it worse. Raising taxes, running up debt, voting for spending that's driving inflation. 25 years in Washington and she's done nothing. It's time for a change.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during the
inflation,
Trump administration. Well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Every morning in hardworking America, Hardee's biscuit makers rise to bake our original made-from-scratch biscuits. Famous since 1977 and still the greatest goodness around. Find the best deals on the Hardee's app.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
Welcome to News 8 Now Sports. I'm Kate Overton. Jacob has the night off. The UWL Eagles are up to 5 in the latest D3 football rankings after a big win over Division II's Northern Michigan. For the second straight game, the Eagles went with a 2-quarterback system. Zach Weir would start the game, but Kyle Haas would come in for a change of pace. Last Saturday, Weir would throw an interception on UWL's second drive of the game. Then Haas came in for the call for drive number 3, where he would throw a 40-yard touchdown pass to give the Eagles the lead. They stuck with Haas for drive number 4, where he would pick up a rushing touchdown shortly before the half. In the second half, Weir would throw for 2 touchdowns, picking it up like he was never subbed out of the game. It's a system the Eagles have used a lot over the last few years, and Coach Janis thinks there's a lot of advantages to it.
Like you guys see it as you watch the game too. There's kind of a different flow and rhythm to both quarterbacks. There's really kind of two completely different players. Sometimes we're using both of them to fit their strengths. Sometimes we're using both of them to fit the play call, right? And trying to use who's going to be best in the play call.
As far as why other schools don't utilize a 2-quarterback system, Coach Janis just said UWL isn't afraid to think outside the box. And if they've got 2 good guys, why not use them both? They're going to need all of their good guys on Saturday. UWL traveling to Allendale, Michigan to take on the 4th-ranked team in Division II, Grand Valley State. It'll be one of the best opponents the Eagles have ever faced. We'll have more on this matchup later this week. Tonight, the Brewers will look to clinch a series over the best team in baseball. Not only that, but the Brewers can clinch the NL Central with a win over the Phillies and a Cubs loss to the Athletics. This one's set to start at 6:40. I'll have highlights at 10. And we've got a big night of local action, including Mabel Canton hosting Houston. The Cougars are still ranked near the top of Minnesota's Division 1A. They're currently 19-0 on the season, and senior Sahara Morgan looking to clinch her 4,000th career assist. We've got a few other games as well, so be sure to tune in tonight. 4,000 should be just the 11th player in Minnesota history to hit that mark.
That would be nuts. So what, she's been starting on varsity since freshman year?
Yeah, sounds
That's
like
a
it.
lot of
When you're that good, I guess
a
that
lot of
happens.
volleyball.
One away, so I mean, she'll get it in the first set.
Yeah.
And then the Brewers, I mean, did you think they were going to clinch it this early?
No, and I don't think most of us did in the state of Wisconsin.
Kind of snuck up on
But
it.
it is a thrill to see what they've done so far.
Awesome. All right, we'll have one more check on your forecast when we come back.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
This is my grandma Kim. She has a lot to say about Eric Hovde.
Mr. Fancy, California banker, said he'd absolutely cut Social Security and raise the retirement age.
Hovde suggested that most seniors shouldn't vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
In Wisconsin, we have a word for guys like him.
DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
What if you never had to worry about what you could do? Because you could do anything. Anywhere could be the center of everywhere. And boundaries only existed to be pushed. So the only limit you faced was how big you could dream. What would you do then? Some pretty cool stuff, I bet. Yeah, that'd be some life. That'd be life unlimited.
Democrats say everything's great, but when you're on a fixed income struggling to pay for gas, groceries, or medicine, it doesn't feel great.
Biden-Harris created this mess.
And Tammy Baldwin's been right there with them.
25 years in Washington. What's she done?
Raised taxes.
Added trillions in new debt.
And gave stimulus checks to illegals.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
I'd like a stimulus check.
I'd like you to take out the trash.
Chart your career with a fabricator position at Chart Industries. Starting wage up to $30 per hour with no experience necessary. Excellent pay and awesome benefits. Apply now at jobs.chartindustries.com.
All right, another quiet night on tap, really. Maybe we get back in the 50s, a little bit cooler than maybe the past couple of nights, but overall still very pleasant for September. Dry conditions tomorrow. We do have rain coming back for Thursday, but the warm summer warmth continues at least through Friday right now.
Okay, and we do have some plans on Saturday, so hoping that rain holds off that day as well.
Of course.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.